Hey Russell fam, in today's video we are going to do a mid-year evaluation on our first grade curriculum. Be back in just a second. Hi, my name is Becky and welcome to our Russell's Loving Life YouTube channel. I am a homeschooling mom of two and I have been homeschooling since 2012. Here on this channel, we talk about homeschooling, homemaking, and everything in between. If you are new, please consider subscribing and clicking that little bell notification down at the bottom. That just lets you know every time I upload a new video, and it lets me know that you like the content that I am putting out. We also have a blog, which is russellslovinglife.com. There, I give you tips and tricks and things that I have learned through my years of homeschooling. And if you're a returning Russell fam, we are so glad you are back. In today's video, we are going to do a mid-year review of My Father's World first grade curriculum, plus some other stuff that I have added in there for Becca. If you're wondering, mid-year, this is February. Well, we typically homeschool year-round, and our new school year starts at the end of September, the beginning of October. So that's why this mid-year falls in February for us. We typically go on a 6-week system. If we need a break, we take them whenever we need them. So that's kind of like why we are year-round homeschoolers. We get all of the curriculum done, but I don't want to push the kids. I don't want to push myself to feel like I've got to get it done. And when you get to that point, it's no good for anybody. So my hint to new homeschoolers is if you feel like you need to take a 5-minute break, a 10-minute break a week, take it, because you're not going to do yourself or your children any good and nobody is going to learn anything. So let's turn this camera around and I'm going to show you what I have been using for this year. If you want to see, do a lesson with us, flip throughs, unboxings, all of that, I will leave all those videos up in the iCards. Here is My Father's World first grade curriculum that I am using with Becca, and I used it with Bailey when he was in first grade, and so to tell y'all I love My Father's World is an understatement, but we are enjoying it I'm enjoying it the second time around as much as I did the first. So I'm going to go to a week, and you've got writing in here that you can see that I've done with Bailey, and I've checked everything off when we did it. But typically, it tells you just kind of like all the other My Father's World, what you need for the week, what to do each day, and it tells you your Bible notebook and things like that. So let me do it this way. The curriculum comes with a Bible reader, and I'll show you this. We are on fixing to go to week 13, and so week 12 is when we started our Bible reader, and this is what Becca is reading. She's been working on her phonics, and so she's learning to read all of this by herself through the My Father's World curriculum. So she read that one this week, and she read this one this week, and then she read this one this week. So we are learning about creation right now. And in the Bible notebook, it tells you what to do. And I'm not really going to show y'all her work, but it's got a place right here when it tells you you're going to write a Bible verse that you've read from the Bible reader, and then you draw pictures to illustrate what you have learned. Is pretty much what you're doing in the Bible notebook. And it also comes with a 5-minute devotional. Y'all, I love this big book of 5-minute devotionals. I used it, like I said, with Bailey. We're using it again with Becca. And it is just so fun and colorful. It's short. You know, it's got, like this one's animals in the forest, fields, and mountains. And it's just sweet little stories that the kids can relate to. You read this to them, and then there's some questions that they can answer over here. And, you know, while they're looking at the pictures, and it says, what does God say? And then it tells you a Bible verse down here at the bottom. And then every week, there is a Bible verse that they've got to learn. And you talk about it on Mondays. And then on Tuesdays, there's a worksheet that comes like this, but it's blank, and they have to copy this Bible verse down, and they have to learn it for the week. So I love that as well. And then here is the workbook that goes with it. This is kind of the phonics workbook. So it tells you the different ways, and usually what you do is you take a red pencil, and like this is underlined here, you underline all of the EWs, so you know it sounds like oo, for n, oo, gr, oo, ch, ew. So you underline them, and it helps them to know. And then they have to read the sentences down here. And so my Father's World Phonics worked great for Bailey. It is working awesome for Becca. I have no complaints about that one at all. Their science books that come with first grade is Things Outdoors, Science with Plants, and Science with Water. And they're all beautifully illustrated with experiments and things in here to do. Just like to show y'all some of the pages in here. They're just so colorful and bright, and I know my children love colorful and bright pictures, and I'm sure yours do too. But here's Things Outdoors. Yeah, this is things that are close to the ground, and it shows broken down what it looks like really under the ground. So that is what they use for science. And now my Father's World does come with a math if you want to use it. I used it with Bailey, but I didn't like that math. It didn't work well for him. So we used it for first grade, and then when he got to second grade, I switched to Saxon. And so I just started Becca out with Saxon from the very beginning. She's been using Saxon math since kindergarten, and so we're just carrying it over to first grade. It's got, let me find a, like here's lesson 35. It tells you everything. Okay, there's a written assessment, so that was a test that day. And then it tells you what you're going to need, so you can get these things done the night before. It says the night before, do this. And then in the morning, you can do this. A lot of the meeting stuff, I don't really do. We go over the calendar. We talk about the weather. She can already count to 100. We do that at least once a week just to make sure she can still do it. She knows patterns. She knows morning and afternoon. We don't really do the coin cup. It didn't work for Bailey, and so I didn't worry about it with her. But if you feel your children need it, go right ahead. Like over here it says talk about continuing left to right. Becca already knows her left to right. So I don't really just keep hounding something that she already knows. I will, again, like I said, my children learn the spiral approach. So once they know something, I come back to it and we review it, and then we keep going. I don't want to, beat a dead horse and keep doing something every day that they already know. So it's good to move on to something, but come back to it is why I love the spiral approach. So here's the lesson. We're talking about identifying morning, noon, and evening. And pretty much it tells you the things in bold are what you are supposed to say. Those are what you're asking your child. So that's why I love Saxon and my Father's World. They're pretty much the same thing. They tell you what to say. They tell you what to do. And that is so great for first-time homeschooling parents. I know it was great for me when I first started out. So here is, if you need it, the answers for the assessment test. And then here is the answers for the front and back of the worksheets. And I am going to show you some of those worksheets. Okay, it also comes with flashcards. So here is the subtractions of ones, the additions of doubles, the additions of ones, and the additions of zeros. So we go over all those flashcards every day. Even though Becca does know them, we just still go over them. And then here is the meeting notebook that I was talking about. Here is, let me find, like the weather. This would be April. And then every day they come in and color what the weather is doing that day. And then they fill in this, and so we read the calendar. We also have a calendar on our wall that is Velcro that we've had since Bailey was little, and we use that calendar as well. So we don't use this book as much, but it is here to be used. I put it in, I keep everything in a 3-ring binder. It just makes my life so much easier, and I punch holes in everything if it doesn't have holes. So this is what the timesheets look like, and they change this is a 1.2, and then here would be like the worksheet. And if she gets everything on the front, I don't worry about doing the back. That's up to you as a parent. If you feel your child needs the extra work, let them do the stuff on the back. But if Becca gets it, we just go on to the next day. Okay, and like here, this is a 2.0. So this is a different timesheet from this one. This one's mixed. This one is all doubles. That's what this one is. And this is all addition of ones. And there again, there's a worksheet. And then this one is a 3.0 where it's all addition of zeros. So it just kind of gives the repetition. And then this is a lesson, and then here's an assessment. The assessments are typically just one little page like this, just to kind of see. And then there's an oral assessment that you can also do, which is like right here. It tells you the materials you need. It tells you lesson 70. This is, you're going to do assessment 7, and then it tells you what to do. And so that kind of lets you know if they're getting everything that they need. So that is the math that we are using instead of using the My Father's World math. And I'm not saying that My Father's World math was bad. I'm just saying it did not work for us. So that's why we changed it up. So it may work for you. And another thing is the Growing with Grammar. They start at level 1. I started using this with Bailey. I forget which grade, but I want to say 3rd. And I loved it, and so I wanted to start it with her early. And it pretty much kind of follows along what Bailey does, but it goes a little more in depth. Like here, we're working on pronouns. So we did pronouns today, and then here is just a little worksheet. After you read the examples to them, you help them with the worksheet, see if they can answer these right. Again, this comes with not owner's manual, sorry, with an answer manual, as well as a test. And it'll tell you after so many lessons, take the test, and here's the back side. So every lesson is a front and back page of Growing with Grammar. And My Father's World doesn't really have a spelling curriculum because they are teaching them phonics. They do have a list of words that they want you to put on note cards for them to kind of learn, but I wanted to do spelling anyway, and I am using, let's go right here. I am using K-12 Reader. I used it with Bailey for years. It's free. Just go to K-12 Reader and you can print out. They have spelling as well as some other curriculums, but I have not used any of those, so I can't really review those. But I have done their spelling one for several years, and I love it. On day 1, they write the words 3 times each. On day 2, they have to circle the correct one. And there's the answers, just in case you needed them. And then you fill in the missing word here. There again, here's the answers. And then the missing letters are here. And there's your answers. And then we take a spelling test. So this is all the curriculums that I am using for first grade. Drop me a comment if you have any questions. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope this mid-year review helps you to understand why I love these curriculums, why I'm using these curriculums. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. I love to answer questions and love to hear from y'all. As always, remember to be kind, be careful, be considerate, and have a great day. Bye.